What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy Goblin, and today we're coming in with a hoot and a holler, a true banger, a classic little weed story, one for the books, if you will. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you do, and also there's a couple important things I want to mention here before I dive into this video. So first and foremost, follow me on Twitch, man. Linked at the very top of the description. We're going to be streaming on there a lot more. I plan on really getting into Twitch. Because, listen, as most of you guys know, YouTube has been very trigger happy lately. You know, they got my boy Yola. Hey, free my man. Hey, give him his channel back, you know, for real. Hey, go show that man some love on Twitter or something, for real. But either way, listen, man. YouTube has not been very friendly to guys like us, you know. I know if you even smoke some weed on this platform, they're at your neck, okay? So we're starting to kind of, you know, branch out and post more on other platforms. So pull up on my Twitch. Hey, Slide, you could smoke on there. Twitch explicitly states, they say, yo, dude, honestly, smoke za. Do whatever you please. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And we're probably going to get banned pretty quickly, but hey, it'll be fun while it lasts. So follow me on Twitch. Links at the top of the description. Let's dive into the video. So this is a nice classic weed story, as I mentioned earlier. And this took place a very long time ago, back in my sophomore year of high school. And this was towards the end of my sophomore year of high school. And as the title states, some of you guys could guess, we're talking about buying a pound of weed. Now, of course, you guys might be thinking I bought it myself. No, I've done that before, but that was a junior year thing. Young sophomore me who had just gotten into smoking, you think I have the money for a pound? Hell no, okay? I barely had money for an ounce. And back then, a lot of you guys can probably relate, you know, when you first started smoking, or, you know, whenever you're broke with your homies and you're all shit out of money, you all got like 20 bucks to your name, and you're sitting there and you're just like, you're plotting, you're scheming with the boys. You're like, all right, listen, gents, we're all going to get $400 together, $500. We're all going to throw down. We're going to buy a pound. We're going to start serving. We're all going to be set. We're going to smoke for free. We're never going to spend money again. I don't know about you guys, but when I was with the homies, we would just talk about that shit all day long. We would just scheme. We'd just be like, you know, we got to do this. And then we just get high and get lazy and not actually do it, you know? But we'd sure plan on it, I'll tell you what. And this was one of those days where the plan actually rarely came through. We actually all did our part. So how this plan originally unfolded, right, is there was one fateful day where me and a couple buddies had met up and gone over to Michael's house. Michael, as you guys know, he's a pretty common character in the stories at this point in my life. You know, he was a cool guy. I was pretty tight with him back in high school, but I don't really talk to him anymore. In fact, I haven't really talked to him much since high school, now that I think about it. But either way, I'm pretty sure he moved, actually. But either way, so back on topic here, myself, Alec, and Eric, who are also a couple fairly common characters in my past stories, we all pull up to Michael's house and we're hanging out. And like I just mentioned, it was one of those days. We're talking our shit, you know, we're talking our talk, and we're scheming on how to get some money up, you know? We're all like, all right, boys, listen, we got to get some money together. Like, I know a guy, you know, he was telling me the price for a pound. And out of the group of us, you know, all of us, we sold weed, but not really in any serious quantities. We all just kind of sold enough to maintain our habit. So if we got enough money to buy like a half ounce, you know, and back then in high school, that's considered selling weed. You know, now as a grown man, that's laughable, you know, but back in high school, like if you had a zip, like people were like, oh man, he's the plug, man. Like, man, the days, you know. But either way, so we're all sitting there, and out of the group of us, you know, we all just kind of would sell our gram bags and our eighths to maintain our smoking habits, right? Alec was the only person in the group who I could say maybe sold to any capacity, right? And it was his plug that we ended up going through for this. But we're all sitting at Michael's house, and we're kind of scheming. We're like, oh, dude, we got to get some money together. And we're all talking about ways to get money up. You know, we're like, yo, let's just like we could even all throw down for a quad right now and sell it by the gram, and we could skimp it. And we're all like, oh, yeah, dude, let's sell kids .8s and shit. We were just on some scumbag shit. We would do whatever it took for a 20 sack. respect, dude. I'm talking absolutely anything. No limits. No holds barred for that 20 bomb, dude. Whatever it took, all right? So we're out there and we're just scheming. Just throwing out stupid ideas. God knows what. Probably some absurd shit that I can't say in the video, you know? But obviously we go through with that plan, but we're pretty determined. Like, we're actually sitting there talking about it, and as we're smoking, you know, and the whole reason this came too is because we're low on bud, you know? But as we're smoking, you know, the kind of last of what we've all got to match, we're like, you know, let's actually do this. Like, we're all discussing when we're getting our next paychecks from work and shit, or when we got some money coming in. We're like, all right, let's all get some money together and figure it out. So fast forward a couple weeks from this day, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks, and we'd all been kind of gradually actually taking this seriously. In fact, we were so serious about this plan that I remember we made this little group chat on Snapchat, and we were like, all right, boys, like, well, like, let's do finances, you know? Hey, let's run the books, boys. What's the ledger looking like? You know, do we have pound money, you know? And if not, we're all, hey, back to business, you know? And we were all just moving, you know, working hard, selling gram bags and shit, trying our best just to make any extra money we could. And whenever we smoked, for some reason, we had the idea. We went through this period of like 2 weeks where like we were kicking it a lot. This was not a super common like friend group of mine, especially at this period in my life. But for this like 2 weeks, I don't know what it was. We just got together one day, and you guys ever have that kind of happen where like you just kick it with a random group of people? You go through like 2 weeks of just, all right, boys, we're fucking linking every day, and then you just never speak again. That's what happened here, right? So we all linked up a whole bunch, and we're all matching every day, discussing this shit. Not every day, but like every other day. We had a Snap group. We were dedicated to this plot, dude. And finally, it came to Alex like, yo, my dude just hit me up. He's got a pretty cheap pound right now. Like, how much money do we have? We're all doing our finances and shit. I remember listen, at this point, as you guys know, I sold and bought my PlayStation back all the time. And I was a little short on money, and all the homies had their money together, and I didn't want to be the guy hampering the plan. So I was like, yo, I'm just going to go sell my PS4 at fucking GameStop, right? So off I go to trade in my PlayStation for like the 8th time. And I don't remember what they gave me, but probably like $120 or some shit. They never, listen, they're finessing. They scam. We all know GameStop, all right? But either way, I go trade in my PlayStation, and I Snapchat the boys. I'm like, all right, you know, like, I've got the money together. Let's do this. And we each needed to get, according to Alec, $500 together, right? So we all get together. We got all our money. I got 500 cash. I'm feeling like a big baller. I'm feeling like a boss. We all link up at Michael's house because that was the spot. And today's the big day. We got cash on us, boys. $2,000 cash at the function. We felt like overlords, like kings, dude. We could buy a used Honda Civic. We could buy a used Toyota Camry, early 2000s, late 90s. We could do whatever we please. We were some overlords at this point. So we're sitting there. Alec is, listen, I never understood what was up with this guy, but he was always super secretive about his plug. So he'd never tell us his plug. Like, even his good friends, he'd just, like, never tell us who the guy was. We'd be able to ride with him, and, like, we'd know where the guy fucking lived, but he just never let us go inside or, like, talk to the guy. But we didn't care, because he'd always come through with the bud. So we get all our money together. We count it out. You know, he hits up his guy, make sure he's good. We smoke up a little bit. We're all chilling, and we all hop into Alec's car, right? Alec had this shitty little fucking, I think it was a Pontiac or some shit. I'm 99% sure it was a Pontiac. It was a piece of shit either way. But it was one of those high schooler cars. We all drove shit buckets, you know? So we hop in his car. It was like, I think it was the only 4-door at the function, because I'm pretty sure I was the only other guy with a car at this point. Alec drove fucking Eric everywhere. But either way, we all hop in Alec's car, and we're whipping. We drive about 30 minutes out of town. We got our money. We're bumping our music. We're feeling exceptional, dude. We're absolutely ecstatic. We can't wait to get this pound. Now, mind you, there's going to be a bunch of kids in the comments. I already know it now. We're like, Goblin, man, I can't believe, man, it wasn't Cali Za? Wait. It wasn't a pound of runts? You're damn right, okay? we were high schoolers. This shit was trash. This was my first ever pound of weed. But prior to this, I'd never actually contributed to a pound. I'd seen pounds, I'd touched a pound, but I'd never like actually had like a owner, like a stake. I was never a shareholder on the pound, you know? Today that changed. So we roll over to Alec's plug. He takes the money and goes inside, and the three of us are left sitting in the car. We're chatting around bullshit, and dude takes forever. And he finally comes back out. And this motherfucker's got a smirk on his face. He's got his backpack. He's ready to rumble, dude. And as soon as he hops back in the car with that Nike bag, we knew it was stinky. The car was stanky. It smelled musty. It smelled dirty. Now listen, for today's standards as an adult, that was not a good smell for weed. But back then, if you could even smell it, that was a good sign, you know? If you could even smell it through the bag, that was like thumbs up, you know? Because, hey, back then, you could smoke some shit with no smell, dude. We'd smoke that no-nose kush, dude. No problem, man. If there's even 2% THC, we're sparking up. It's over, you know? But either way, so we finally got our bud, and Alec hops back in the car, and he's like, all right, we got it. You know, we're all fucking lit. We're all so excited. We're, like, dapping each other up. We're like, boys, we did it. Like, we got the pound, dude. Let's go. Like, we actually did it, you know? And it was just so exciting. I remember we sped back to Michael's house. We were whipping, and we were kind of tweaking, dude. We were all, like, looking around. We were like, oh, shit, dude. Like, I remember we passed a speed trap on the way back. We were like, cop, cop, cop. Like, all of us. We were like, yo, cop. And I remember, like, I'm in the back seat. I'm, like, grabbing my seat buckle and shit. I'm like, oh, shit, dude. I gotta buckle up, bro. Like, we were tweaking about everything. But we finally make it back to Michael's house. And we go sit down and we bust out the bag. And it's beautiful, dude. It was such a sight to behold. Just this giant vacuum sealed block, dude. We were hyped. So we open it up and listen. Dookie trim job, super fucking dry, but it had this really musty, almost like, the thing is, it smelled like it was damp. It almost smelled moldy, but it was actually dry. It was kind of weird, you know, looking back at it. Ooh, hey, we had the swag on deck. We were all selling bud for so cheap back then. We were serving for the low once we grabbed this, dude. I remember we were doing eighths for like, God, I think we were doing them for like $20 for homies or some shit, 25 or some shit like that for the homies, and then for non-homies it was like 35, which back then that was a good deal. In high school that was a good deal, bro. But either way, we get back to Michael's house, and of course we bust out the one scale we have, and we got the solo cup, and we tear that bitch, and we're just fucking, hey man, we're just stuffing that cup full of nugs. By the way, I'm not talking like tear, like I ripped the cup, dude. For those of you guys who don't know, there's a button on the scale called the tear button. I think it's the tear button, like Tare. I don't fucking know, dude. But either way, you use it when you're weighing stuff, right? So we're filling this cup up with nugs. We're divvying it out. And listen, this pound was a little bit under. It was like, it was a pretty significant amount under. It was like about 8 or 9 grams under, you know? So we were a little upset, but we were like, whatever. We just each took 2 grams out of our bags, and we were like, whatever, dude, let's just smoke it, you know? Like, let's just, like, to make it even, you know? Like let's just, like, smoke let's make it as if we lost a half ounce and just smoke, like, 6 grams out of this, you know? So we were like, bet. We smoked that shit, and Alec actually hit up the plug, and he was like, yo, I'm gonna tell him it was short. And the dude was cool about it. He's like, yo, if you want to come back, like, I got you, bro. My bad and everything. And obviously, we didn't go back for that immediately. We were like, hey, you know what? Well, we'll worry about that a little later, you know? For now, we are living like kings. We thought we were so rich off this pound, we're scoffing at the quad, dude. Dude offers the quarter fucking mail-in rebate. All we have to do is pull back up. I said, fuck that. We said, hell no, son. We each have a QP. We're ballers now. We're hooping, dude. And I remember, listen, I learned a valuable lesson off this, because after we all divvied this up, it's not like anything crazy happened, like we got fucking robbed or anything. We just divvied up this QP and kind of went our separate ways, right? You know, the plan actually worked. We actually did it, you know? And Alec, out of the 4 of us, it was kind of funny. Alec actually started like serving because of this. He was the only one who didn't fuck up his money off this re-up. The other 3 of us, we just smoked the whole bag, bro. Me, Michael, and Eric, we were some chimneys for a week or two, dude. Alec is the only one who actually made some money serving. We were some goddamn chimneys off that shit. It was a hoot and a holler, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, that mid had us tweaking, because you know what? If a bull didn't get us high enough, we had plenty more of it in the stash, dude. Just pack some more up. Just fucking roll up some more. Who gave a fuck, dude? You know? It's whatever. We're lit, dude. We each had a QP. We finally ran it up. But hey, I learned a valuable lesson off that first pound, man. Hey, I fucked up the bag. I said never again. Next summer, once I started ordering off the deep web, the bud from there, hey, I learned my valuable lesson. But hey, hope you guys enjoyed this little weed story. Drop a like if you did. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out, gamers.